Today we will discuss 6th August 2024 secure synopsis. Okay, General Studies 1. Topic is Harappan or Indus Valley Civilization. Question 1 is the cities of the Indus Valley Civilization were marvels of urban planning and engineering. In this light, discuss the urban planning and engineering achievements of the Harappan civilization. It's a 10-mark question. Okay. Key demand of this question is to discuss the urban planning and engineering accomplishments of the Harappan civilization, emphasizing their sophistication and impact. Okay, structure of the answer. Introduction. Start by giving an overview of its geographical extent and time frame. Okay. Body. First, write about the urban planning achievements of Harappan civilizations such as grid layout and city planning, well-defined residential and commercial areas, and standardized brick sizes. Second is, in the second part, mention the engineering achievements such as sophisticated drainage systems, well-designed water supply systems, granaries and storage facilities, the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro, fortifications and defensive walls around cities, etc. Third is, at last, briefly mention modern implications and its legacy. Conclusion. In conclusion, highlight the significance of these accomplishments in the context of ancient urban development and their influence on subsequent civilizations. Introduction. The cities of the Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, are celebrated for their advanced urban planning and engineering achievements, flourishing around 2600 to 1900 BCE, 2600 to 1900 BCE. This civilization was amongst the earliest urban cultures in the world, displaying remarkable sophistication in various aspects of urban development. Okay, body. Urban planning achievements of the Indus Valley civilizations. First one is grid layout. Regularized streets. These cities were laid out in a grid pattern. The cities were laid out in a grid pattern with streets intersecting at right angles. This systematic approach is evident in major urban centers like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Wide, wide main roads and narrow lines. Main roads were broad, allowing for easy movement of people and goods, while narrower lanes facilitated access to residential areas. Example, in Mohenjo-daro, the main streets were up to 10 meters wide. Second is zoning, residential and non-residential areas. The cities were divided into distinct residential, commercial, and industrial zones. First one is residential areas often had houses of varying sizes. Residential areas often had houses of varying sizes, indicating a structured social organization. Public and administrative buildings. There were separate areas for public and administrative buildings such as granaries, assembly halls, and warehouses. Third one is standardized building materials. Burned bricks. Buildings were constructed using uniform, standardized burned bricks, which ensured durability and consistency. Example, these bricks were of a specific ratio. These bricks were of a specific ratio, which is 1 is to 2 is to 4. 1 is to 2 is to 4, contributing to the regularity in the construction. Mud bricks. In areas like the lower town of Harappa, mud bricks were used for constructing homes and other buildings, indicating adaptability to available resources. Fourth one is fortified structures, citadels. Many cities had a raised citadel area which was fortified and likely used for defensive purposes, administrative functions, and as a location for elite residences. Example, the citadel at Mohenjo-daro. Granaries and warehouses. These were often located in the citadel area, signifying their importance in the city's economy and food security. Next is engineering achievements of Harappan civilization. First one is water management. Sophisticated drainage systems. The cities had advanced drainage systems which covered drains running along the main streets and connected to larger sewers. Each house had a private bathroom and drainage connected to the street drains, reflecting a high standard of hygiene. Wells and bathing areas. Numerous wells provided fresh water and public baths, such as the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro highlight the importance of water and cleanliness in Harappan society. Example, Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro with its waterproof brickwork and sophisticated drainage. Sanitation. Houses were equipped with toilets connected to a sophisticated waste disposal system. Wastewater was directed to covered drains, showcasing an advanced understanding of sanitation and public health. Second is building techniques, foundations and structures. Buildings had strong foundations and were often built on raised platforms to protect against flooding. Some structures were multi-storied, indicating advanced architectural techniques. Public buildings. The Great Granary at Harappa and Assembly Hall at Mohenjo-daro exemplify the use of large-scale public architecture with well-planned layouts and robust construction. Third one is dockyards and trade. Lothal Dockyard. The dockyard at Lothal is one of the earliest known, showcasing sophisticated engineering skills. It was connected to an extensive network of canals, enabling maritime trade and commerce. Fourth one is trade infrastructure. Standardized weights and measures facilitated trade, and the construction of warehouses and granaries supported economic activities. Conclusion. These achievements not only highlight the ingenuity of the Harappan people, but also their ability to create and maintain large, complex urban centers that were among the most advanced of their time. These achievements not only highlight the ingenuity of the Harappan people, but also their ability to create and maintain large, complex urban centers that were among the most advanced of their time. Okay, next topic is Vedic period. Discuss the religious practices and rituals of the early Vedic period, focusing on the significance of sacrifices, yajnas, and their impact on society. 15-marker question. Okay, key demand of this question is to discuss the religious practices and rituals of early Vedic period, emphasizing the significance of yajnas and their impact on society. Structure of the answer. Introduction. Introduce the early Vedic period as a formative phase in ancient Indian history with distinctive religious practices and rituals. Body. First, discuss religious practices and rituals practiced during the Vedic period. Second, discuss the significance of these practices. Social and religious unity, sponsored by kings and nobles to assert authority and gain legitimacy, cosmic and spiritual goals, etc. At last, discuss the impact of these practices on society, such as formation of the priesthood, social stratification, ritual complexity and exclusivity, and influence on the later Vedic period. Okay, conclusion. Conclude by emphasizing the importance of these practices in shaping Vedic society and their lasting influence on later religious traditions. Introduction. The early Vedic period, century 1500 to 1000 BCE. Circa 1500 to 1000 BCE was characterized by a diverse array of religious practices and rituals, primarily centered around the performance of sacrifices, yajnas, and the worship of natural deities. Religious practices and rituals of the early Vedic period. First one is sacrifices, yajnas. Yajnas were central to Vedic religious practices, serving as a means to please the gods, maintain cosmic order, Riddha, and secure prosperity and protection. These rituals varied in complexity and purpose. Second one is worship of natural deities. The Vedic pantheon consisted of various deities associated with natural elements, each invoked for specific blessings and protections. Third one is mantras and hymens. The recitation of mantras and hymens was integral to Vedic rituals, believed to have powerful effects on the gods and the universe. Fourth one is ancestor worship. Rituals honoring deceased ancestors, deceased ancestors were an important aspect of religious life.
Deceased.
Okay. Ancestor worship, rituals honoring deceased ancestors were an important aspect of religious life. Fifth one is role of priest. Brahmins or priests played an important role in performing rituals and interpreting sacred texts. They were considered intermediaries between gods and humans. Significance of these practices. First one is social and religious unity. Communal participation. Yajnas often involve the entire community, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. Example, village communities would gather for seasonal yajnas, such as the Varuna Yajna, to pray for rain and good harvests, strengthening communal bonds. Religious cohesion. The common belief in and practice of these rituals helped maintain religious cohesion among different tribes and communities. Example, different clans and tribes would come together to perform the Rajasuya Yajna, reinforcing their shared religious heritage and political alliances. Rajasuya Yajna. Okay. Second is political authority and legitimacy. Sponsored by kings and nobles. Rulers sponsored grand yajnas like Ashwamedha and Rajasuya, Ashwamedha and Rajasuya to legitimize their rule, demonstrate their power, and gain divine approval. Example, the Ashwamedha performed by the king Pruthu, as described in the Puranas, was meant to assert his divine right to rule and expand his territory. First, okay, assertion of sovereignty. These rituals affirmed the king's status as a divinely sanctioned ruler, strengthening political authority. Example, the Rajasuya Yajna of King Yudhishthira in the Mahabharata symbolized his status as a Chakravartin, a universal monarch. Third one is cosmic and spiritual goals. Maintaining cosmic order, Ridha. The performance of yajnas was believed to maintain the cosmic order and balance, ensuring prosperity and stability. Example, the Agnihotra ritual was performed daily to uphold Ridha. Spiritual merit. Participation in these rituals was thought to accumulate spiritual merit, punya, benefiting both individuals and the community. Example, householders would perform the Agnihotra and Soma Yajna to gain spiritual merit. Impact of these practices on society. Formation of priesthood. Brahmanical authority. The complexity of rituals led to the emergence of a specialized priesthood, the Brahmins, who gained significant power and status as the custodians of religious knowledge. Example, the Brahmins, like the famous sage Vishwamitra, were revered for their knowledge of Vedic rituals and mantras and were often consulted by kings and nobles. Priestly hierarchy. Within the Brahmin community, a hierarchy developed based on expertise in different rituals and texts. Example, priests specializing in the Soma Yajna. Social stratification. Varna system. The ritual importance of yajnas reinforced the Varna system, with Brahmins at the top, followed by Kshatriyas, warriors, Vaishyas, traders, and Shudras, servants. Example, the performance of the Raja Suya Yajna involved roles for all four Varnas. Social roles. Each Varna had specific roles in the performance of rituals, reflecting and reinforcing social hierarchies. Example, Kshatriya would sponsor and participate in grand yajnas, while Vaishyas would supply the necessary resources, and Shudras would assist in the preparations. Sixth one is ritual complexity and explosivity. Sophisticated rituals. The increasing complexity of yajnas made them explosive, requiring specialized knowledge and resources accessible mainly to the elite. Example, the Ashwamedha Yajna required vast resources and elaborate preparations, making it feasible only for powerful kings. Economic impact. The demand for offerings stimulated agricultural and pastoral activities, while the redistribution of offerings during yajnas played a role in economic exchange and social cohesion. Example, the Soma Yajna involved the procurement of the rare Soma plant, stimulating trade and economic activity. Influence on the later Vedic period. Philosophical developments. The contemplation of the rituals and rituals' significance led to the early philosophical inquiries, forming the basis of the Upanishadic tradition. Example, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad reflects on the deeper meanings of the yajnas, moving towards philosophical and spiritual insights. Evolution of Hinduism. The practices and concepts from the early Vedic period evolved and were integrated into the broader framework of Hinduism, influencing religious thought and practice for centuries. Example, the transition from ritualistic practices to devotional worship, bhakti in later periods. Conclusion. While many aspects of early Vedic religion would evolve or be interpreted in later periods, its core elements, such as the importance of ritual, the concept of cosmic order, and the veneration of multiple deities, continue to influence Indian religious thought for millennia. General Studies 2. Topic: Indian Constitution. Features. The preamble of the Indian Constitution is often seen as merely a preface rather than having substantial significance. Discuss the validity of this view. It's a 150-word question, 10-marker question. Okay, why this question? The National Council of Educational Research and Training, NCRT, has dropped the preamble to the Constitution from several Class 3 and 6 textbooks issued this year. Key demand of the question: discuss the significance of the preamble in the Indian Constitution and assess the view that it is merely a preface rather than having substantial significance. Here, directive is discuss evaluating the significance of preamble of the Indian Constitution and assessing the view that it is just a preface by examining its role, importance, and legal impact. Structure of the answer. Introduction. Briefly introduce the preamble of the Constitution. Preamble of the Indian Constitution. State its purpose and importance in the constitutional framework. First part, significance of the preamble, provides the foundational values and objectives of the Constitution, reflects the guiding principles and vision of the framers, acts as a tool for interpreting constitutional provisions. Second part, validity of the view of preamble as merely a preface, argument that it lacks legal enforceability, Keshavananda Bharati case, role in shaping constitutional interpretation and legal reasoning. Conclusion, emphasize its integral role in guiding constitutional interpretation and upholding the spirit of the Constitution. Introduction. The preamble serves as an introductory statement. The preamble serves as an introductory statement that outlines the fundamental values and objectives of the Indian Constitution. It signifies that the authority of the Constitution emanates from the people. It signifies that the authority of the Constitution emanates from the people. Adopted on November 26, 1949. November 26, 1949, by the Constituent Assembly of India, it became effective on January 26, 1950. The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Once more, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure all its citizens justice, social justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Okay, what are the limitations of preamble? Okay, limitations of preamble, merely a preface. First one is lack of substantive power. It is not regarded as a source of any substantive governmental power. Thus, it cannot place any limitations on the exercise of powers of legislature, executive, or judiciary. Second is lack of legal enforceability. It cannot override the expressed provisions of the Constitution. It is not enforceable in a court of law as it is non-justiciable. Third one is interpretative role only. In jurisprudence, it has limited applications and can be resorted to only when the constitutional provisions are ambiguous. In jurisprudence, it has limited applications and can be resorted to only when the constitutional provisions are ambiguous. Keshavananda Bharati case, 1973. It is used to understand the spirit of the Constitution, but does not create legal obligations. Okay, what are the utility and significance of the preamble? Utility and significance of the preamble. First one is source of power. It indicates that ultimate sovereignty resides with people. Hence, it depicts that the People are the source of ultimate power. Second is ideals of the Constitution. It declares the commitment to the constitutional values, rights, and freedoms, such as the justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity to the people. Third one is interpretation of the Constitution. It aids the judiciary in the interpretation of laws as well as the Constitution itself whenever needed. Keshavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, 1973. The Supreme Court confirmed that the preamble is a part of the Constitution and helps in the interpretation of its provisions. Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narain, 1975, used the preamble to affirm the principles of democracy and rule of law. For this nature of state, it also declares the nature of the Indian state, that is, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and republic. Fifth one is guiding principles. Justice, Article 14, 15, 17. The preamble emphasizes the principles of justice, social, economic, and political, which are enshrined in various constitutional provisions. Liberty, Article 21. It underscores the importance of individual freedoms and liberties. Equality, Article 15, 16, 46. It advocates for equality before the law and equal opportunities. Fraternity, Article 51A. It promotes a sense of unity and integrity among the people of India. Conclusion. The preamble has substantial significance in reflecting the values and objectives of the Constitution and guiding its interpretation. While it may not be directly enforceable, its role in shaping the constitutional framework and guiding judicial interpretation demonstrates its importance beyond a mere introductory statement. Next topic is India and its neighborhood relations. India's support during Bangladesh Liberation War was India's support during Bangladesh Liberation War has significantly strengthened bilateral relations between the two nations. However, this relationship continues to face several challenges. Analyze. It's a 250-word question. Why this question? Bangladesh PM has fled the country and amidst protests and landed in India at Hindon Air Base in Ghaziabad. Key demand of this question. Analyze the impact of India's support during Bangladesh's Liberation War on bilateral relations and discuss the ongoing challenges in this relationship. Analyze. Examine the impact of India's support on the current relationship between the two nations, assess the ongoing challenges affecting this bilateral relationship, and suggest a way ahead. Introduction. Briefly mention the historical context of India's support for Bangladesh during its liberation wars. Body. First part, impact on India's support on bilateral relations. Strengthened ties, cooperation in trade, security, and cultural exchanges, strategic partnership in regional and global forums. Second part, ongoing challenges, border issues, such as border issues, economic discrepancies, political relations, cross-border issues. Third part is practical measures to address challenges, need for enhanced diplomatic dialogue, strengthening economic cooperation and resolving border issues through bilateral agreements. Conclusion. Emphasize the importance of addressing these challenges to sustain and enhance the relationship between India and Bangladesh. Introduction. India was the first to recognize Bangladesh's independence in December 1971 and quickly established diplomatic ties. Bangladesh holds a significant place in India's neighborhood first policy, with shared civilizational, cultural, and economic bonds, including common heritage and mutual influences in music and literature. India-Bangladesh relations. Geostrategic. Bangladesh is vital for India due to its strategic location as India's eastern neighbor. It provides access to the Bay of Bengal and a key trade route to Southeast Asia. Second is geopolitical. A stable, cooperative Bangladesh is essential for India's security, especially in counter-terrorism and border management. Bangladesh's support is also important for India's UNSC permanent membership aspirations. Third is economic. Strengthening economic ties is key for India to achieve its foreign trade policy goals and its $5 trillion economy target. In the energy sector, Bangladesh imports nearly 2,000 megawatts MW of electricity from India. India is also the second biggest trade partner of Bangladesh. Fourth one is cultural and civilization. Bangladesh, with its substantial Hindu Bengali population and numerous cultural sites linked to India, holds cultural significance. Fifth one is international cooperation. Effective collaboration with Bangladesh is important for the success of regional forums like BIMSTEC, SARC, and international climate agreements. Okay. India can use Chattogram and Mongla ports for transporting goods to its three northeastern states, Tripura, Assam, and Meghalaya. India and Bangladesh for the first time signed transit agreement in November 2010. The two countries signed MOU in 2015 about the use of Chattogram and Mongla ports. Dhaka may charge fees for the Indian good shipped through Bangladesh and can increase its export volumes too, experts say. From Chattogram and Mongla ports, goods to be transported to four border points en route to the three states. Goods can be transported through Bangladesh by river, road, and rail routes using Bangladeshi vessels, trucks, and railway. Okay, challenges to India-Bangladesh relations. First one is Teesta River dispute. Disagreements over water sharing persist due to conflicting interests between West Bengal and the central government, with no treaty in place. Second is illegal migration. Ongoing illegal migration from Bangladesh causes socio-economic and security challenges in inter-border states. Third one is drug smuggling and trafficking. Cross-border smuggling and trafficking of drugs, humans, and wildlife are ongoing issues. Terrorism. Fourth one is terrorism. The border is vulnerable to terrorist infiltration, with groups like Jamaatul Mujahideen, Bangladesh, JMB, posing a threat. Fifth one is Chinese influence. Bangladesh involvement in the Belt and Road Initiative and its purchase of Chinese military equipment raise concerns for India's security. Sixth one is political unrest in Bangladesh. Student protests in Bangladesh over job quotas have intensified into a major political crisis, leading to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's resignation, with the military imposing a curfew due to escalating violence. Practical measures to address the challenges. First one is resolve water dispute. Promote cooperation between the West Bengal and central governments to reach a consensus on Teesta water sharing. Second is enhance connectivity. Improve regional connectivity through better coastal, road, rail, and inland waterway infrastructure. Example, BBIN project. Third one is energy cooperation. Collaborate on clean energy to boost energy security and promote regional synergy. Fourth one is economic partnership. Transition Bangladesh from LDC status by signing Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement CEPA with Bangladesh. Fifth one is counter China's influence. Support Bangladesh with technology and modern techniques to mitigate China's influence. Sixth one is address refugee crisis. Lead efforts with SARC to create a unified approach to managing refugees and economic migrants. Seventh one is dialogue with upcoming interim government. Initiative and inclusive dialogue with student bodies and new interim government, and diplomatically ensure that security measures respect human rights. Conclusion. One of the prime interest is developing Northeast India, better connectivity to Southeast Asian countries, and exploring the Indo-Pacific region. To achieve all that, deepening of India-Bangladesh relations is a significant step. General Studies 3. Indian economy, corporate sustainability. Topic is Indian economy, corporate sustainability reporting. Corporate sustainability reporting. Fifth question. Discuss the significance of SEBI's updated business responsibility and sustainability report. BRSR framework introduced in 2023. How does it enhance corporate accountability and contribute to India's sustainability goals? Okay, why this question? SEBI's updated BRSR framework is significant step towards enhancing corporate accountability and transparency in sustainability practices. Key demand of this question is to describe the updated BRSR framework introduced by SEBI in 2023 and to explain how it enhances corporate accountability and contributes to India's sustainability goals. Directive word, discuss. This implies a detailed and balanced examination of the BRSR framework frameworks, key features, and their potential impact on corporate accountability and India's sustainability goals. Okay, structure of the answer. Introduction. Introduce the context of SEBI's updated BRSR framework and its importance for corporate sustainability reporting in India. Body. Key features of the BRSR framework. First one is expanded reporting requirements. Top 1,000 listed companies to disclose their ESG performance. Second is mandatory assurance. Top 150 companies must obtain reasonable assurance on ESG disclosures from financial year 2023 to 2024. 9 ESG attributes includes greenhouse emissions, water usage, energy consumption, and employee well-being. Comply or explain principle. Companies must either comply with reporting requirements or provide valid reasons for non-compliance. Alignment with international standards, aligns with EU taxonomy, GRI standards, etc. Focus on value chain, emphasis on assessing ESG impacts on the entire value chain. Okay. 2. Impact on corporate accountability, improved transparency. Enhanced disclosure requirements lead to greater transparency in corporate sustainability practices. Combat greenwashing. Mandatory assurance improves the credibility of reported data, reducing instances of greenwashing. Sectoral inclusion. Expanded scope ensures that more sectors contribute to sustainability goals. Third, contribution to India's sustainability goals. Greener production encourages every economic sector to adopt greener means of production. Second is government initiative support, aligns with government initiatives promoting green growth, such as investments in renewable energy and green hydrogen. Collaboration and policy framework supports collaboration among sectors through initiatives like the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, PAGE. Conclusion. Emphasize the significance of the updated BRSR framework in enhancing corporate accountability and supporting India's transition to a sustainable economy. Introduction. The Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, introduced the updated Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, BRSR framework in 2023 to enhance corporate sustainability reporting and accountability in India. This framework aims to ensure comprehensive environmental, social, and governance ESG disclosures from top listed companies, aligning with global standards and contributing to India's sustainability goals. Key features of the BRSR framework. Expanded reporting requirements. The framework mandates the top 1,000 listed companies to disclose their ESG performance. For instance, Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, now reports on its greenhouse gas emissions, water usage, and energy consumption across its operations. Mandatory assurance. From FY financial year 2023 to 2024, the top 150 companies must obtain reasonable assurance on their ESG disclosures and enhancing data reliability. For example, Reliance Industries Limited is required to have its sustainability data verified by an external auditor. 9 ESG attributes. The framework includes comprehensive reporting on greenhouse gas emissions, water usage, energy consumption, employee well-being, and other key sustainability metrics. Infosys, for instance, reports on its initiatives to reduce water usage and improve employee well-being. Comply or explain principle. Companies are required to either comply with the reporting requirements or provide valid reasons for non-compliance, promoting accountability. A company like Wipro, if unable to meet a specific requirement, must explain the reasons and outline steps to achieve compliances. Alignment with international standards. The BRSR framework aligns with global standards like the EU taxonomy and GRI standards, ensuring consistency and comparability. For instance, Hindustan Unilever aligns its reporting with both BRSR and GRI standards. Focus on value chain. Emphasis is assessing the environmental and social impacts of the entire value chain, promoting holistic sustainability practices. Maruti Suzuki now evaluates the sustainability practices of its suppliers and partners. What are the impacts on corporate accountability? Impact on corporate accountability. Improved transparency. Enhanced disclosure requirements lead to greater transparency in corporate sustainability practices, allowing stakeholders to make informed decisions. For example, investors can now better assess the sustainability performance of companies like Mahindra and Mahindra. Combat greenwashing. Mandatory assurance of ESG on ESG disclosures. It improves data credibility, reducing instances of greenwashing and ensuring genuine sustainability efforts. Companies like ITC Limited now provide more credible and verified sustainability reports. Sectoral inclusion. The expanded scope ensures a wider range of sectors contribute to sustainability goals, fostering a more inclusive approach to sustainable development. For example, the framework now includes sectors such as manufacturing, IT, and FMCG. Contribution to India's sustainability goals. Greener production. The framework encourages every economic sector to adopt greener means of production, supporting India's commitment to reducing environmental impact. Companies like Adani Group are now investing in renewable energy projects and green technologies. Government initiatives support. The BRSR framework aligns with government initiatives promoting green growth, such as investments in renewable energy and green hydrogen. This alignment supports India's goals outlined in initiatives like the National Action Plan on Climate Change. Collaboration and policy framework. The framework supports collaboration among sectors and aligns with initiatives like the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, PACE, fostering a comprehensive approach to sustainability. For instance, Indian Oil Corporation collaborates with international partners to develop green hydrogen technologies. Business responsibility and sustainable report. BRSR raises the bar for ESG disclosures in India. Okay, waste management policies, reuse and recycle. Employment welfare and benefits. Accessible workplaces for the differently abled. Employee sensitization trainings on POSH and anti-corrupt practices. Implement CSR activities, fostering inclusive work environment. Accountability towards the environment. Diversity practices in the boardroom. Conclusion. The updated BRSR framework by SEBI significantly enhances corporate accountability by ensuring comprehensive and credible ESG disclosures. It plays a crucial role in supporting India's transition to a sustainable economy by promoting transparency, combating greenwashing, and aligning corporate practices with national and international sustainability goals. Economy. Next topic is economy, energy. Economy, energy. Question 6. Discuss the measures announced in the 2024 budget to enhance India's power grid's flexibility, resilience, and cleanliness. How will these measures support sustainable economic growth and job creation in the clean energy sector? The 2024 budget emphasizes India's commitment to a clean energy transition, crucial for sustainable economic growth and job creation. Key demand of this question is to describe the measures announced in 2024 budget to improve the power grid's flexibility, resilience, and cleanliness, and to explain how these measures will support sustainable economic growth and job creation in the clean energy sector. Directive word. Discuss. This implies a detailed and balanced examination of the budget measures along with their potential impacts on sustainable economic growth and job creation in clean energy sectors. Structure of the answer. Introduction. Introduce the context of the 2024 budget's focus on clean energy transition and its significance for India's power grid. Body. Budget measures. Renewable energy and storage targets. Raising targets to beyond 500 GW by 2030. Diverse clean energy resources. Steer faster deployment of solar, wind, and other clean technologies. Energy availability improvement. Energy availability improvement. Enhancing power exchanges and reducing price volatility. Coal fleet maintenance. Effective upkeep and flexibility of coal plants. Digitalization, implementing smart meters for better demand forecasting and network planning. Second is impact on sustainable growth and job creation. Economic growth, ensuring energy security and meeting growing power demand. Job creation, opportunities in renewable energy sectors and related industries. Environmental benefits, reducing carbon footprint and promoting sustainable development. Technological advancement, encouraging innovation and adoption of new technologies. Conclusion, emphasize the significance of these measures for India's clean energy transition and the broader benefits for sustainable economic growth and job creation. Introduction. The 2024 budget reflects India's commitment to transforming its energy sector, focusing on enhancing the flexibility, resilience, and cleanliness of its power grid. By investing in modern technologies and renewable energy, the budget aims to create a robust power infrastructure that supports economic growth and job creation in the clean energy sector. Key measures announced in the 2024 budget focusing on enhancing the flexibility, resilience, and cleanliness of its power grid. First one is investment in smart grid technology. Significant allocation for developing smart grids to enhance efficiency and reliability. For example, installing advanced metering infrastructure to improve real-time monitoring and control. Second is renewable energy integration. Increased funding for integrating renewable energy sources like solar and wind into the grid. This includes developing large-scale battery storage systems and hybrid renewable energy projects. Third one is grid modernization and upgrades. Budget provisions for upgrading aging infrastructure and expanding transmission networks. This includes high voltage transmission lines and substation automation. Fourth one is disaster resilience initiative. Measures to strengthen the grid's resilience against natural disasters, such as installing underground cables in cyclone-prone areas. Fifth one is energy efficiency programs. Incentives for energy efficiency improvements in industrial, commercial, and residential sectors. This includes subsidies for energy efficient appliances and retrofitting programs. Sixth one is policies on pumped hydro storage. Developing policies to support pumped hydro storage as a means to balance supply and demand. Seventh one is support for nuclear energy. Developing pathways to support nuclear energy as part of the energy transition. Supporting sustainable economic growth. First one is boost to renewable energy sector. Enhancing grid flexibility supports the growth of the renewable energy sector, attracting investment and fostering innovation. For instance, increased capacity for solar and wind projects leads to more green energy production. Second is improved energy security. A resilient and flexible grid reduces dependence on fossil fuels, ensuring stable and sustainable energy supply, which is crucial for economic stability and growth. Third is reduction in energy costs. Efficiency improvements and integration of cheaper renewable energy sources reduce overall energy costs for businesses and consumers, promoting economic competitiveness. Okay, next is raising renewable energy targets. The government aims to exceed 500 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030, encouraging the development of diverse clean energy resources. Next is job creation in the clean energy sector. First one is employment opportunities in renewable energy projects. Large-scale investments in renewable energy projects create numerous job opportunities in construction, operation, and maintenance. For example, solar and wind farms require a skilled workforce for installation and ongoing management. Second, skilled workforce development. Government initiatives to train and upskill workers in the clean energy sector, fostering a new generation of professionals proficient in advanced energy technologies. Third is local manufacturing boost. Incentives for local manufacturing of renewable energy components, such as solar panels and wind turbines, create jobs and support the Make in India initiative. Fourth one is digitalization initiatives. Fast tracking digitalization, such as the installation of smart meters, empowers discoms and consumers, creating jobs in technology and data management sectors. Conclusion, The measures outlined in the 2024 budget mark a significant step towards creating a cleaner, more flexible, resilient power grid in India. By prioritizing renewable energy integration, grid modernization, and energy efficiency, these initiatives not only support the nation's sustainability goals but also drive economic growth and job creation in the burgeoning clean energy sector. Okay, next we will discuss general studies for. Okay, topic is emotional intelligence. Question 7. What are the psychological challenges experienced by disaster survivors and how can they be addressed to overcome such trauma? What are the psychological challenges experienced by disaster survivors and how can they be addressed to overcome such trauma? It's a 10-mark question. Okay. Why the question? As news of the devastating landslide in Wayanad spread across a shell-shocked Kerala, residents in Thiruvananthapuram, Kochi, and other districts swung into action. Introduction. Begin by writing about the recent disaster context. Body. First, explain what are psychological challenges for disaster survivors. Then, suggest a measure through which it can be overcome. Use examples to justify your points. Conclusion summarized by writing an ethical philosophy or quote. Okay, introduction. Disaster survivors often grapple with profound psychological impacts that challenge their sense of stability and peace. Addressing these psychological challenges through ethical and empathetic means is essential for aiding recovery and restoring well-being. Psychological challenges faced by disaster survivors. First one is post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Survivors may experience flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety related to the trauma. Example, WHO reports an estimated 3.9%, 3.9% of the world population has experienced post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, at some point in their lives. Second is depression. Loss and upheaval can lead to sadness, hopelessness, and disinterest in daily activities. Example, research shows depression is the most common outcome post-disaster. Third one is survivor's guilt. Feeling guilty for having survived when others did not can lead to deep-seated guilt and self-blame. Example, the Soul Survivor documentary shows Galaxy Airlines flight crash survivor guilt. Fourth one is anxiety and hypervigilance. Constant worry about future disasters or safety can lead to heightened anxiety and excessive alertness. Example, recurring panic attacks. Fifth one is disrupted social relationships. Trauma can strain relationships, leading to withdrawal, irritability, and communication difficulties. Example, isolation and trauma, leading to relationship spoiling. Next is strategies to overcome trauma. First one is professional counseling. Therapy can provide coping strategies and emotional support, helping process trauma and reduce symptoms. Example, psychologist and therapist consultation. Second is support groups. Sharing experiences with others who have faced similar situations can reduce isolation and provide community support. Example, Amrita Hospital work in Wayanad. Third is self-care. Regular exercise, healthy eating, and relaxation techniques can help manage stress and improve well-being. Example, yoga, meditation, and traveling to peaceful places. Fourth is normalizing activities. Engaging in familiar routines and activities that bring joy can help rebuild a sense of normalcy. Example, social gatherings and attending community functions. Fifth one is social support. Maintaining connections with friends and family and communicating openly about needs can alleviate emotional burdens. Example, family, friends, and relatives, empathy and compassion. Conclusion. As Viktor Frankl noted, When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. By fostering resilience and providing empathetic care, we honor the dignity and strength of those who endure the aftermath of disaster. Okay, thank you very much for listening me. We'll see you in next class. Thank you very much.